Quality assurance (QA) roles are responsible for creating and performing tests, identifying errors, and providing feedback to verify that a final product meets a company's quality requirements. In part 2 of this video series, we explore 12 quality assurance interview questions and answers. Each answer can be customized to highlight your unique qualifications and experiences. Before your interview, be sure to research the company and review the job description so you can include key skills relevant to the job role in your answers. Don't forget to watch part 1 of this series. I have posted the link in the description below. Question number 1. What is the difference between functional and non-functional testing? Hiring managers ask this to check your understanding of core QA concepts. They want to know if you can distinguish between verifying what a system does, functional, versus how it behaves under certain conditions, non-functional. A strong answer shows you understand both the technical side and the user experience impact. Functional testing checks if the application behaves according to the requirements. It answers the question, does this feature work as expected? For example, testing that a login form accepts the right username and password would be functional. Non-functional testing, on the other hand, looks at how the system performs. It includes things like load time, scalability, and usability. For instance, making sure the login page loads under 2 seconds during peak traffic would fall under non-functional testing. Both are important. Functional testing ensures the product is correct, while non-functional testing ensures the product is usable and efficient in the real world. In practice, I often combine both, verifying the core behavior works, but also checking the experience under different scenarios. That balance helps catch both critical errors and potential user drop-off issues. Question number 2. Should QA resolve production issues? This question helps gauge your understanding of QA's role during high-pressure situations. Hiring managers want to know if you're proactive, accountable, and understand where QA fits in the incident response flow. They also want to hear how you support the resolution process without stepping outside your scope. QA shouldn't directly resolve production issues unless the issue is within a QA-owned tool or script, but we absolutely play a role in diagnosing and helping the team fix it. If something goes wrong in production, my first step is to help identify the root cause through logs, test cases, or reviewing recent changes. I see QA as a partner in getting to the bottom of the issue, not necessarily the one deploying the fix. We can also contribute by creating regression tests around the bug and making sure it doesn't come back in future builds. So while we may not push the production hotfix, we're right there, gathering data, confirming the issue, testing the fix, and updating documentation. Everyone wins when QA takes ownership of quality even after release. Question number 3. When you find a bug in production, how do you ensure the bug gets resolved? This question is about your follow-through, communication skills, and process discipline. Hiring managers want to see that you don't just report bugs, but take responsibility for making sure they're acknowledged, prioritized, and fixed. It also shows how well you collaborate across teams. If I find a bug in production, the first thing I do is confirm the issue and document it clearly. Steps to reproduce, environment, expected versus actual behavior, and any relevant logs. I log it with a high priority and alert the appropriate dev and product leads right away. From there, I keep track of the ticket and follow up regularly to ensure it's not lost in the shuffle. If it's critical, I'll attend stand-ups or escalation meetings to make sure it's getting attention. I also verify the fix in staging and again after it's deployed to production, just to be sure it's fully resolved. It's not just about finding the bug, it's about protecting the user experience. I make sure the feedback loop is closed, the bug is fixed, and everyone involved has what they need to prevent it from happening again. Question number 4. How do you prioritize when you have so many tasks? Hiring managers ask this to see how you handle the fast pace of QA, where multiple tests, releases, and bugs can pile up. They're looking for someone who can balance urgency with importance and communicate clearly when priorities shift. Prioritization is key to avoiding bottlenecks and missed deadlines. When I have a lot on my plate, I start by looking at what's most time-sensitive or high impact, like testing features for an upcoming release or confirming bug fixes that block other teams. I break tasks into categories: critical, important, and low priority. I'll touch base with the team lead or product owner if there's any uncertainty about priority, just to make sure we're all aligned. I use tools like Jira or Trello to track progress, and I block focus time during the day for deep testing. If things pile up too quickly, I'm not afraid to speak up early and suggest trade-offs. I'd rather be upfront about what I can deliver than risk missing something important. Prioritizing well helps keep quality high without overloading myself or the team. Question number 5. Tell me about your most challenging project. This gives insight into how you solve problems, deal with pressure, and work with others. Hiring managers want to see resilience, problem solving, and teamwork. A thoughtful answer shows you can learn from tough situations and grow from them. One of my most challenging projects was testing a complete system rewrite under a tight deadline. The app had new architecture, updated APIs, and the UI was changing daily. There wasn't much documentation, and several components were still being built while we tested. I tackled it by breaking the app into modules, writing smoke tests first to catch major issues, then building out deeper test cases as features stabilized. I kept close communication with developers, testing features as soon as they were pushed, even if it meant working around incomplete areas. I also created a checklist to track what was tested, what still needed coverage, and where bugs were blocking progress. It was intense, but we met the release deadline and caught a major bug 2 days before launch that would have caused login failures for thousands of users. That project taught me the value of flexibility, clear tracking, and fast feedback loops when things are moving fast and messy. Question number 6. What are the essential characteristics of leaders in QA? This question helps hiring managers understand what qualities you value and whether you think beyond just executing tests. They want to know if you see leadership as technical skill, communication, or mentorship, and whether you're aiming to grow into a leadership role yourself. A strong QA leader has to be detail-focused, but also see the big picture. They need to be excellent at communicating across teams, translating technical risks into business impact, and advocating for quality without slowing things down. They also set the tone for collaboration. I think good leaders help their team feel comfortable sharing bugs, ideas, or concerns without fear of blame. They lead by example, staying curious, asking good questions, and always looking for ways to improve the process. One QA lead I worked with encouraged us to own quality across the life cycle, not just at the end. That mindset changed how I approach my work, and it's something I try to bring into every project. To me, a QA leader isn't just someone with experience. They're someone who lifts the team, keeps things focused, and brings out the best in the product and the people. Question number 7. What is the most essential test metric and why? Hiring managers ask this to gauge your understanding of test metrics and how you use them to evaluate quality and progress. The way you answer shows whether you prioritize meaningful insights over just numbers. It also helps them see how you contribute to tracking risks and ensuring better releases. I think defect density is one of the most essential test metrics. It measures the number of confirmed defects divided by the size of the software component, like lines of code or function points. It gives a solid view of where the riskiest parts of the application are and helps the team focus testing efforts in the right areas. For example, if we keep finding bugs in a specific module, the defect density metric helps justify spending more time on that section or getting extra developer attention. It's not just about numbers, it helps us make smarter decisions. That said, I don't rely on just one metric. I always look at defect leakage, test coverage, and pass-fail rates too. But if I had to pick one that really helps prioritize quality work, defect density would be it. Before we continue, I just want to take a moment to thank you for watching this video. You can download a copy of these interview questions and answers in PDF format by clicking on the link below and supporting my channel by making a minimum donation of $3. Your support allows me to keep creating valuable content to help you pass your interview and land your dream job. Thanks for your support and appreciation. Question number 8. What are some of the goals you have for your career? This question helps hiring managers understand whether your goals align with the company's growth opportunities. They want to see ambition balanced with realism and how you view your future in QA. It also helps them gauge whether you're looking to stay and grow in the role. My main goal is to continue growing as a well-rounded QA professional while deepening my knowledge in automation and performance testing. Right now, I'm focused on expanding my scripting skills and gaining more hands-on experience with tools like Selenium, JMeter, or Playwright. I'd also like to be involved earlier in the development cycle, maybe working more closely with business analysts or developers to shape test strategies from the beginning. Over the next few years, I'd love to take on more leadership responsibilities, whether that's mentoring junior testers, helping set team standards, or managing small projects. I want to stay close to the hands-on work, but also contribute to the bigger picture of delivering quality software. Overall, I'm looking for an environment where I can keep learning, solve real-world problems, and support a team that values quality as much as speed. Question number 9. How is data-driven testing implemented? Hiring managers want to know if you're familiar with scalable and reusable testing practices. Data-driven testing is key in automated QA, and your ability to explain it shows whether you understand how to reduce redundancy and improve test coverage. It also shows your practical knowledge of scripting and frameworks. Data-driven testing is implemented by separating the test logic from the test data. Instead of writing multiple test scripts for different input values, we write one script that reads input and expected results from an external source, like an Excel file, CSV, or database. This allows us to run the same test with many different sets of data, which improves coverage and makes maintenance much easier. For example, if we're testing a login form, we can create a test that reads usernames and passwords from a data file and checks for expected outcomes. If we need to add new test cases, we just update the file without changing the script. In most of my automation work, I use frameworks like TestNG or JUnit, where this approach fits right in. It's a great way to catch edge cases without duplicating effort, and it keeps the test suite clean and efficient. Question number 10. What is a traceability matrix, and why is it important in software testing? This question helps interviewers assess how you manage test coverage and alignment with business requirements. A traceability matrix is a practical tool, so they want to know if you understand its purpose and how it reduces missed requirements. Your answer reflects your commitment to organized and accountable testing. A traceability matrix is a document or tool that maps test cases to their corresponding requirements. Its main purpose is to make sure every requirement is covered by at least one test and that nothing slips through the cracks. It also helps track whether a requirement has been verified and where defects may be linked to missing or unclear specifications. When I've worked on projects with tight deadlines, the traceability matrix helped us stay aligned with the business goals. It gave clear visibility into what had been tested and what hadn't, so there were no surprises during reviews. It's also helpful during audits or handovers because it shows the complete picture: requirements, tests, results, and any gaps. Whether I'm working on manual test plans or automated suites, I always try to include traceability to avoid guesswork and make sure we're testing what actually matters. Question number 11. What are the 3 types of traceability matrices, and what is the role of the traceability matrix in ensuring thorough testing? This question is designed to test both your theoretical understanding and your practical application. Hiring managers want to know if you can track test coverage from different angles and how you ensure full validation of system requirements. It shows your attention to detail and commitment to QA best practices. The 3 types of traceability matrices are forward traceability, backward traceability, and bidirectional traceability. Forward traceability links requirements to the test cases that verify them. Backward traceability connects test cases back to their original requirements, confirming that all tests are justified. Bidirectional traceability does both. It's the most complete view. The traceability matrix plays a huge role in thorough testing because it ensures all requirements are tested and all tests have a reason to exist. It also helps track changes. If a requirement is updated, the matrix shows which test cases may need adjusting. On past projects, I've used bidirectional traceability to prepare for stakeholder reviews. It helped us prove that we didn't miss any critical functionality and made defect triage easier by pointing us directly to the related test cases. It's a really practical tool for staying organized and transparent throughout the test cycle. And finally, here's the last question. Question number 12. What are the key differences between black box and white box testing? Hiring managers want to confirm that you understand testing strategies from both user and developer perspectives. This question shows whether you can pick the right approach based on the situation and contribute to both functional and structural testing. It's important for ensuring balanced test coverage. Black box testing focuses on the functionality of the application without looking at the internal code. You test based on inputs and expected outputs, things like UI behavior, error messages, or business rules. It's the kind of testing that reflects how a user interacts with the system. White box testing, on the other hand, involves understanding the internal logic and code structure. It's about testing paths, conditions, and loops to make sure everything runs as expected from the inside out. Developers or QA engineers with access to the code usually handle this type. In most of my work, I've used black box testing for functional verification and user-facing features, while using white box techniques like code coverage analysis when working closer with developers. Both have their place, and using them together helps ensure that we're testing the system thoroughly from all angles. If you want to learn more on how to land jobs and reach your career goals, don't forget to hit that subscribe and bell notification button to get new videos every single week. Also, don't forget to hit that like button because that motivates me to keep doing what I do. Stay safe, keep smiling, and good luck.